Hi everyone. Going to be working on my Mythic Plus guides. Last week was Raging, Volcanic, and Tyrannical. There really isn't much to go over about that because it's pretty straightforward. So I just want to show you the item breakdown of what I had and gear and everything. And I'll show you the boss fights to a 14 upper Karazhan, which is actually extremely difficult. We missed the timer, but honestly it was the most fun I've had playing this game in a long time. Like, it was actually hard and it was a lot of fun. So talent wise, in this video I used Razor Spikes, Burning Alive, Fell Eruption, Tyrannical. I wanted the single target damage, Fracture, Quicken Sigils so I can place my sigils all over the map for trash, Spirit Bomb. In retrospect I probably would have just ran with Fell Devastation, but I had Spirit Bomb in the video, and Soul Barrier. Normal gear wise, legendaries, I use Pridus and the Archimon Trinket. So I'm just going to show you the actual kills to the fight, not the trash, because it's a 60-minute video. So I'm just going to show you the bosses themselves. Trash wise, nothing changed. Being Tyrannical, it's not really, the trash wasn't really an issue, so it wasn't really anything to show. So I hope you enjoy. Thanks. Alright, so here is the creator. For Tyrannical, especially in the higher levels, the positioning is actually very important. I don't do it here because our DPS is insane, so I'm not really worried about positioning. But if you're running with lower DPS, you want to make sure you position the puddles on the ground in better locations than what we did. I just walk right down the middle. It's nothing really big. Other than that, is the basic creator fight. Make sure you kill off all the energies and focus the boss down. I try to save. I open up with Fiery Brand and Fell Eruption, and then I'll end up saving the next Fire Brand and Fell Eruption for his evocation phase. But yeah, this was actually the easiest fight in the dungeon for us. We were actually worried about fighting the creator on Tyrannical 14, but we ended up one-shotting this fight. Whereas the other fights we weren't so lucky. So I just pull all my cooldowns, so when he goes into his evocation, I open up the Fiery Demise window, front load all my magic fire damage. Second pot as well during the evocation. And then you just continue phase 1. This fight was actually really easy for us. And you can see how my positioning is bad. So if you had lower DPS, putting all the arcane puddles on the side or over in a corner and work your way out would have been more ideal. And that's creator, so let's move on to the next boss. Alright, so here is the Shade of Medivh. Now let me just, before we even start, let me say, Tyrannical Shade with Volcanic is broken. Our 2 or 3 wipes we had in this fight was caused because the healer got a Flame Wreath under his feet, and then shortly after got a Volcanic spawn underneath him as well. He couldn't outrun the Volcanic because of the Flame Wreath, and when the Volcanic exploded, it killed him, which then caused the Flame Wreath to blow up and wipe the entire raid anyways. That happened on every single wipe. On this attempt, he didn't get both combinations at the same time, so we're able to kill it. So let's go ahead and start this here. For this fight, what you need to do is you need to coordinate your interrupts. It's crucial. On Tyrannical and 14 here, you have to plan out which abilities you want to interrupt. You're going to want to interrupt Frostbite every time, but piercing missiles, you have to decide how many you can eat. I knew that I could eat one just fine if I have cooldowns, and if I had Soul Barrier plus Empower Wards, there's a high chance I could eat a second one without risking my life. But if you have at least 2 stacks, you cannot eat a third. It just does way too much damage. Alright, so here's Flame Wraith. So one does spawn on our healer and one is on our rep ally. So as long as you don't break those barriers, it's not really that big of a deal. And as you can see, no volcanic spawned underneath them, so we didn't get cheesed to death. Ceaseless Winter is easy, you just keep moving, there's nothing special here. Just keep your interrupt rotations going. Communication is key. If you want to succeed at this at high levels, I'd highly recommend voice comms. That way you guys are always calling out who has what interrupt. Other than that, this fight just repeats. Now the only change to this fight in higher levels besides doing everything perfectly is the Guardian's images. These actually hurt a lot at this difficulty. So what we did is we put everybody on 1 except the monk who went to the other target to keep interrupted. I break off early to the middle one so I can use my interrupts on this to try to mitigate as much damage as possible. As you can see, we're stacking up, we're at 15 stacks now, 17 stacks. So the whole idea is we need to break off into smaller groups and interrupt as much as possible. That way the arcane damage doesn't get out of control. And then he comes back and we just finish him off. Now we probably would have one-shot this if it wasn't volcanic that caused the volcanic plus flame wraith issue. Other than that, pretty straightforward fight, just do your interrupts correctly. Alright, let's go to the next boss. Alright, so here is the Mana Worm. Now this Mana Devourer destroyed us. I think it wiped us about 5 times. The sheer amount of damage that this boss puts out on Tyrannical is just insane. If you watch the health pools on the left side of the screen, you can see what I mean. We got through this by using both battle reses. So basically, tanking wise, this is kind of boring. You just face tank them and just DPS as much as you can. Like, there really isn't anything to worry about here. The only thing that gets a little sketchy is when the balls come out, the mana balls. If you are able to pick up 1 or 2 of these, you probably should. However, keep in mind, it does a ton of damage. And when you go to get them off of you, you take, I think it was like 700,000 damage per second while standing in this pool. So basically the breaking points of this fight is every time the balls come out, there's a high possibility you're either going to wipe or lose a person. Every time. I missed all the balls there. Our paladin tried to pick up way too many. There goes the DK. I've heard of other groups who two-healed this because of the damage is just insane, and you can just keep postponing or drawing the fight out. If you eat enough balls, unless you can keep everybody alive, you can just keep drawing the fight out. I have to keep, if I drop too low, I just left the puddle so I can get heals before I went back in. There's like a 2 to 3 second delay on losing your stack inside of the puddles. Otherwise, honestly, as a tank, this is an extremely boring fight. The healers get to have all the fun here. And that's the Mana Devourer. So the chest event here is extremely boring, and it took forever. And the only reason why I'm going to show you a quick clip of this is because our Death Knight keeps dying, and it's really funny to me. The HP pools of all these ads are really high, and with our DPS, aka Death Knight, keep dying, it took us like 6 minutes to get through this. Yeah, so if you're planning to 3 chests this run, keep in mind that this will probably take a lot of time for you guys to get it down. But yeah, I'm not going to show you any more of this, but I just wanted to show you a quick glimpse of the chess event. Lastly, we have Visidoom. Nothing really changes here. The only thing you have to watch out for is everything he does is essentially a one-shot. So basically set up an interrupt rotation for the Burning Blast, like you should do anyways. And then for phase 1, you just straight tank him. If you get the beam, run it away. Phase 1's kind of boring. Those balls will one-shot you, or at least most people, so just don't get hit by them. And phase 1 is easy to dodge. Disintegrate will probably come close to one-shotting you. This fight overall, in my opinion, wasn't very hard. We ended up 2-shotting it. We lost 1 or 2 people the first time we tried it in phase 1. Phase 2 here, just jump across and interrupt them. DHs are really good at that. Yeah, the beam almost one-shot the healer. So keep interrupting the Burning Blast, dodge the disintegrates. The only real dangerous point here besides the disintegrates are the shadow balls, because you're going to have 2 of them on this small platform. So make sure when they go out, you guys spread out and do 1 at a time. Yeah, see how they spread out? There's the first set, and I got hit by this disintegrate. We lost both our DK and our monk here. So the fight itself isn't hard with mechanics. The only thing that's really hard about it is just you have to be perfect or people are going to die. So I'm spreading out now away from the healer, so when it's my turn for my dispel. There it is. And then just dodge the bombardments, because again, it will one-shot you probably, unless you're a tank. And on the last platform, this is the easiest part. Honestly, you just run up all the ads and you just kill them. The only hard part here is now you have 3 sets of shadow orbs. We do not want to interrupt this guy until the last second. Somebody does it early here, right there. So just dodge everything like you were doing before. Just need to spread it out, dodge the orbs. The ads do have a cleave that puts a second debuff on you. Once they die quick enough, it should not be a big issue. And that's really it. Upper Kara was like I was saying in the intro, the one of the hardest dungeons at 14 Tyrannical that I've done in a very long time. This isn't much of a guide per se, simply because it's volcanic, raging, tyrannical. In the future, when we have necrotic and explosive, I will actually put out full-fledged guides, but I just want to show you how challenging a tyrannical upper Kara actually is. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, like or subscribe, and otherwise, thanks for watching.